Hi friends, welcome to another segment of Fish Tales. Of course, this is where I get to tell you a wonderful story. And today's story is going to be a tale. It actually has to do with fishing. It doesn't always have to do with fishing, but today's fish tale is a story about me and the biggest freshwater fish that I ever caught. So, the biggest freshwater fish that I ever caught was a pike. It was way back, like, oh man, we're talking. I wouldn't be surprised if it was about 20 years ago, 18 years ago. Now, my math skills are not what they're cracked up to be, but it was a long time ago. And it was on a lake up in Yellowknife, Great Slave Lake. And I was actually on tour. I was doing a little show with John Dunsworth, and we went to Yellowknife and we attended a festival there. It's called Folk on the Rocks, and it was absolutely wonderful. It was in the summertime, and I remember because up at Yellowknife in the summer, it gets sunny, but it never gets totally dark in the summertime. The sun just goes down and it's like dusk, so it's really tough because if you're having a few drinky poos, you don't know when to stop the party, because you can look at the clock and it could be like 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and it's still, the light is still in the sky, so people just keep partying. But we were up there for this big festival, and we did a little comedy show and got to meet a whole bunch of folks, and that's where I first met the band, all the members of the Sadies, and I got to meet Walk Off the Earth, another great band from Burlington, Ontario, and a number of others. And we just got to chill out. There was a nice artist tent that had a keg of beer, and I think I drank the keg dry because beer is my favorite alcohol of all time. Yes, I do like beer, but I don't like the hoppy beer. I like beer that's just kind of the lighter side, like a lager or a pilsner. But anyway, John Dunsworth, Mr. Lahey, and I were up there, and we did a little comedy show. Ooh, do I got a snag? Oh, maybe. Sometimes on Fish Tales, I get a little snag, but that's okay. But after this whole festival was over, the editor of the newspaper, sadly I can't remember his name, he said, "You guys want to go fishing?" And I said, sure, I'd love to go fishing. And well, John doesn't like fishing. He likes to do sailing and boating, but he gets bored fishing because it's not called catching, it's called fishing. For him, he would need to catch every cast, but that's not the case. Anyway, the editor took us out for a fish on Great Slave Lake. And I remember we had the worst old tackle I've ever seen, the oldest fishing rod and the oldest lures and all that stuff. And I was thinking, how in the heck are we going to catch anything on all this old rusty hooks and all that? Didn't matter. The editor took us to a place. He said, I know that the pike are in here. So he took us in there, and we just started casting, and sure enough, I hooked onto a great big pike. Oh, wow. I've never caught one on this one. Got one right on the top water, on the little popper plopper here, I think, unless it comes off. Feels like he's on there, just a little one. Anyways, out on Great Slave Lake, cast out, caught a great big pike on the line, and I brought it on. Oh, he got off. But that's good, that's refreshing to know that I think you call it the popper plopper, whopper plopper, pooper plopper, I don't know, something like that, whopper plopper, anyway. So I had him on my line. I got this fish all the way up to the boat, and I was pumped. But then I didn't know I got the line too tight, and when I pulled it tight, the fish moved its head and snapped the line. So I lost him. The editor of the newspaper was like, "Man, oh man, that's an awesome fish. You had an awesome pike on." So anyway, we kept fishing, and I was lucky enough to hook into another wonderful pike. This time I didn't get the line too tight. I brought it up, and he had the net, got it in the net, and I caught it. And I know, some people exaggerate the size of fish, but I would say that fish was, woo, that long right there, I'd say. And that's, to me, that was a big fish for me because I don't catch them that long. Now, the first one that I had on, you could see it, it was like this long. I'm almost stretching my arms all the way out here, all the way. And that's not an exaggeration, but it got away. I didn't get in the boat, so I didn't catch it. So back down to about that long. So I got him, and I was all excited. The editor of the newspaper, he says, oh, Pat, Randy, he says, that's not a big fish. You know what we call those? I said, what? He goes, that's a Fartknocker. We catch those all day long and don't get excited about nothing. We're going for the big ones like your first one. I said, well, I'm pretty pumped. I got this fish. And I held it up. He took a picture of me, and I made it in the newspaper. The newspaper up in Yellowknife. And it was unbelievable to have that fish. A Fartknocker that I was proud of. And that was it. And Mr. Lahey, he didn't fish at all. He just enjoyed being out on the boat on Great Slave Lake. So there you go. That's my story. I give catching a Fartknocker 2 thumbs up because I think just catching fish in general is awesome. The big one did get away, but that's okay. I'm going to keep fishing and keep trying to catch the big ones, all right? So thank you. Thank you for watching this other segment of, I think it's called Fish Tales, right here